Hello, beautiful people. Today we will be discussing a controversial topic. Have you ever heard of those who are pro choice or those who are pro life? If yes, do you know where these terminologies came from? And it's completely fine if you do not know because I am here to share out what you need to know. So let us get right into it. We will be talking about the Supreme Court case of Roe v. Wade that sparked a debate between those who are for and against abortion. Roe v. Wade is also well known for legalizing abortion nationwide. Abortion laws in the United States changed dramatically in the early 1970s, largely as a result of the influence of the women's rights movements. They basically sought equal rights for women in their economic activities, their personal lives, and politics, therefore increasing many benefits to the women which should have been granted to them already. In 1969, a woman named Norma McCorvey wanted abortion. She was 22, who was unmarried, unemployed, and was pregnant for the third time. She resided in Texas. The procedure was illegal except if it was to save a woman's life. Even though it was impossible for her, McCorvey still intended to seek for abortion.
No, never give up, never surrender.
She looked for respective clinics to undergo the procedure, but it was all too late when the authorities shut all of them down. She was desperate for abortion, so she asked for help. Attorneys Linda Coffey and Sarah Weddington were looking for pregnant women who were seeking abortions. They were interested in challenging the laws of abortion, thereby claiming that all women should have access to what they think is right for them, protecting their private life. And Norma McCorvey just came in the right time, becoming a representative for all the women in favor of changing abortion laws. The case took 3 years of trials to reach the Supreme Court of the United States and was known as Roe v. Wade. The Roe part of the case was described as a woman who wished to terminate her pregnancy with the access to abortion under safe and legalized conditions. She claimed that the Texas regulations were unconstitutionally vague and that they reduced her rights of personal privacy. She ran against Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, who defended the Texas law that prohibited abortion except to save a woman's life. Along with this, the court also decided to hear the closely related case of Doe versus Bolton centered on a Georgia abortion law. The court heard the arguments twice. The first time, Sarah Weddington, Roe's attorney, could not locate the constitutional hook for her argument. Luckily, her opponent, Jay Floyd, misfired from the start due to his opening. This was due to the joke that he decided to open up with, which was completely insulting that the Supreme Justices even gave him a cold glare. "It's an old joke," he said. "When a man argues against two beautiful ladies like this, they are going to have the last word." Weddington sharpened her constitutional argument in the second round, and Jay Floyd was then replaced by Robert Flowers. In the meantime, McCorvey had given birth to her child and eventually put the baby up for adoption. She was forced to give birth, according to court records, because of how long the court case was and the decision-making process. The court was still deciding upon her case that she already has given birth. There was no way for her to do abortion because it was still being decided if it should be legalized or not, basing it off on women's right to privacy. Upon the trials, the court declared the abortion laws void and overbroadly violating women's 9th and 14th Amendment rights. Finally, on January 22, 1973, the court issued its 7-2 decision. Justice Blackmun wrote the opinion for the majority, which recognized that a woman's choice whether to have an abortion is protected by her right to privacy. The dissenting opinion came from Justice White and Justice Rehnquist. They concluded that because of this issue, it required a careful balance of the interest of the women against the interest of the state. It was not an appropriate decision for the court to make, they claimed. Although, while a right to privacy was not specifically mentioned in the Constitution, it was guaranteed by the 14th Amendment's due process of law. The Supreme Court ruled that women had a constitutional right to abortion and that this right was based on an implied right to personal privacy deriving from the 9th and 14th Amendments. The Supreme Court actually disagreed with Roe's assertion of having the total control in ending her pregnancy in any way and at any time, so they tried to balance a woman's right of privacy with a state's interest in regulating abortion. The court said that a fetus is not a person but potential life, and thus does not have constitutional rights of its own. The court set up a framework in which the women's right to abortion and the state's right to protect potential life shift. During the first semester of pregnancy, a woman's privacy right is strongest and the state may not regulate abortion for any reason. During the second trimester, the state may regulate abortion only to protect the health of the woman. During the third trimester, the state may regulate or prohibit abortion to promote its interest in the potential life of the fetus, except where abortion is necessary to preserve the woman's life or health. Norma McCorvey maintained a low profile following the court's decision, but in the 1980s, she was active in the abortion rights movement. However, that changed in the mid-1990s after becoming friends with the head of an anti-abortion group. Leading up to her conversion of Catholicism. She then turned into a vocal opponent of the procedure, making her a pro-life advocate. Due to the decision that the Supreme Court has made, it brought up a continuous debate between pro-life and pro-choice. People who are pro-choice believe that women have the basic human right to decide when and whether to have children based on their moral and religious beliefs. It's my life. Pro-choice supporters say that those opposed to abortion are against free choice and the rights of women. Those opposed to abortion call themselves pro-life, suggesting that anyone in favor of abortion rights is anti-life. Many of them do not believe that a woman should be able to choose abortion under any circumstances, even if she has been raped or if carrying the pregnancy to term may put her life in danger. Overall, the court case affected many citizens and made 46 states change their laws regarding abortion. Many use the symbol of coat hangers, stating that this should never happen again because hangers were used as a method to carry on a miscarriage. Roe v. Wade is still referenced and relevant today and is considered one of the most important cases that the Supreme Court has decided.